Smart plug. I'm installing the Shore Power connection on the outside of this van. This is a Ford Transit. Remember I've said to you, let the van speak to you, let it talk to you. Where do we put the Shore Power plug? Generally speaking, it's in this rear corner of the van or the RV because that's where your pedestals are typically in a campground. So you can't just come along here and say, oh, I like it here, I like it here, I like it here. You've got to let the van speak to you, okay? On the other side of this van, on the inside, there's one little deep pocket where I would love to have this thing mount and have my wires coming off in that deep pocket. It's protected, it's out of the way. Down at this end, there's a nice big cutout opening in the van frame. That leaves this exposed, and it's also a great spot to put a little pocket storage box in the wall. So I want to put it here. This was the best place to put it. It's not, because if you let the van speak to you, this is a contour. You can see this right here. It's curved. It goes to flat. Back here. Here's what I do as a test. This is my backing plate for the smart plug, okay? Once I make my hole and I put my smart plug in, I glue this to the inside and I screw into it. You'll see how that gets done. But here's my test. If I want to put it here, I take my backing plate. Does it rock? If it rocks, this is contoured. That's a no good because you'll never get a good seal on this. To get a good seal, you'd have to deform the body panel. So you come down to where it appears to be flat, and it is. There's no rocking. This is the spot to put this outlet because you're going to get a good flat seal without deforming the body. This is the cubby where I want to put that Shore Power connection. Look how deep and protected it is, right? You have that Shore Power plug here and your wires come out the back. I can chase them through the wall here and bring them out to my bus bars, my inverter. This is ideal, except for the fact that the body is curved out there and I won't get a good seal and it'll leak. This spot is the flat spot I showed you outside. This is an ideal spot to mount the Shore Power from the outside. In here, not so much. Protected, exposed. The other thing is, look at that gap. Look at this space back here. Do you see how this body panel comes in, right? And it leaves you with this nice big cavity. Look at that cavity. That would be a perfect pocket for a camping stove. Fold it up, slide it right in. Perfect. You got to let the van talk to you and make your decisions. Once you've determined the location from the outside of the van, bring it inside and fine-tune exactly where that hole is to be made. Make sure your backing plate has enough room and nothing is getting in the way. And also make sure your hole punch has enough room to do its job. When drilling any hole larger than a pilot hole, set magnets under the drill site to catch the metal filings falling from the drill bit. Work your way up to the intended hole size in interim steps. Okay, Ron, I'm ready. I need a helping hand here. You can be out here. I'm going to do this in two parts. You just need the blade, which is out here, the cutter. Do it in two parts. I'm recording. So we're going to thread this on, and then I'll start to tighten it, and then I'm going to move the camera. Okay. Camera's running now. Tight?
Tight.
Okay. Thank you. The hydraulic hole punch, a relatively inexpensive tool, makes a perfect hole with no heat, scraping, or gouging like you might experience with a hole saw. The next step is to glue the backing plate aligned with the hole in the body so the smart plug will slide through both nicely. Clamp it in place and make sure it doesn't swim around while you're clamping. How do you make this straight? What do you use as a guide? Well, you got to look for your edges on the van. Let the van speak to you. Here's an edge, here's an edge. A lot of these contours and panels are not always squared off or level to anything, but visually, you've got to pick your lines, okay? So if you have a triangle with a little ledge or a flange on the bottom, you can come in here, rest your triangle on the flange, and you can square up that way. And you do it from both sides, just to check yourself, right? Another way is if you have a straight edge, a good straight edge, that you can set in that channel. Then you can come up with a little different kind of square if you have it, and you can square it up that way. And I always double check, and I like to use the inside of the square. So there you go, that's ready to be pre-drilled. I'm gonna save you some time and heartache. Wire up your smart plug before you install it. Don't ask me how I know that.